They were just there, laughing, breathing, planning things with you. And now, they're not. No warning, no preparation, no grand cinematic farewell. Just a phone call, a text, a scream, or worse, silence. The death of a friend doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it comes like a thief at night, quiet, invasive, and unapologetically final. And what it leaves behind is a silent war inside your chest. You don't talk about it, not fully. People expect that grief belongs only to family. But losing a friend? It breaks something else, something sacred, something irreplaceable. Take Kwame, for example, a university student in Kumasi, final year. He had a best friend, Randy. They shared everything. Notes, jokes, late-night ideas about starting a tech company. One Friday, Randy excused himself from a study group. "I just need to lie down for a bit," he said. That night, he died from a seizure in his sleep. No goodbye, no warning, just gone. Kwame said nothing for days. No tears, just blank eyes. He couldn't explain why he started skipping classes, or why the smell of Randy's cologne made him nauseous, or why he randomly heard his friends laugh in empty rooms. Because the world doesn't give you space to grieve a friend. You're expected to move on. And here's the cruel part. Society doesn't see it coming. You don't get bereavement leave for a friend. No one organizes food for your house. You're expected to keep working, keep functioning, while a ghost sits next to you every damn day. Ever been in a room full of people, smiling, laughing, and all you can think about is how your friend used to tilt their head when they laughed? That's the silent struggle. And then there's the anger. Oh yes, the quiet, bitter anger. Not always at the person who died, sometimes at yourself. You remember that time you ignored their call because you were busy, that message you left unread, that last hangout you postponed, and now you carry those moments like broken glass in your pockets. For some people, the friend they lost was the only person who truly understood them. Imagine that, losing the one person who saw behind your mask, who knew your triggers, your weaknesses, and never judged you. How do you replace that? You don't. You learn to wear it like a second skin. Let's talk about Akosua. She lost her childhood best friend Lydia in a car accident. They'd been inseparable since class 4. Akosua found out through Instagram. A mutual friend posted a candle emoji and her photo. No one even called. She had to scroll through comments to piece it together. She said her fingers went numb. She kept refreshing the post, hoping it was a prank. It wasn't. For months, she'd pick up her phone to send Lydia memes, only to remember, only to break down again, alone. And you know what's terrifying? The world moves on, fast. Your friend dies. You die a little inside, but the calendar doesn't pause. Rent is still due. Assignments pile up. People invite you to parties. Life forgets. And you start to feel guilty for remembering. Some nights you laugh at something and feel sick immediately after. How dare I be happy, you ask yourself. That's the trap. You're grieving someone who won't come back in a world that doesn't wait. And no one really prepares you for the hallucinations. You walk into a shop and swear you saw them. You hear a voice behind you and turn around too fast. Nothing. No one. Just your mind refusing to let go. They call it closure. But when you've held your friend's old hoodie in your arms at 2 a.m., crying into it like a broken child, you realize closure is a myth. You don't get over it. You adjust. And here's where it gets darker. Some people don't make it out. They spiral into addictions, into depression, into self-isolation, because no one teaches you how to mourn someone who wasn't your spouse or parent or child, just your everything. The friend you vented to about your parents? Gone. The friend who walked with you when no one else did? Gone. And people ask, how are you holding up? You smile, say, I'm okay. But inside, You're screaming. You stare at old videos, listen to voice notes just to remember their voice, because it's already starting to fade. And then comes the final knife. When people stop mentioning them, when their name becomes taboo, when your grief starts to feel inconvenient to others. So, you grieve in silence, in scrolls, in midnight tears, in dreams that turn into wake-up sobs. You wear their memory like armor, or a wound. And still the world keeps spinning. But here's the twist. You are not the only one grieving them. While you're crying in secret, hiding your pain behind a phone screen, someone else is doing the same. A sibling, a parent, a classmate who didn't get the spotlight. That quiet person from church who only spoke to them once, but remembers every word. Grief is a shared language spoken in silence. You thought you were grieving a friend, but what you lost was a piece of yourself that only existed when they were around. The version of you that laughed that way, smiled that wide, spoke that freely, that version died too. But here's the haunting beauty of it. It can be reborn. Not as the same person, but as a wiser one. As someone who now knows just how fragile life is. As someone who now listens better, feels deeper, loves harder, wastes less time, says, I love you before it's too late. Because here's what most people don't realize until they're forced to. Losing a friend isn't just about death, it's about awakening. You woke up to the reality that nothing is promised. That no photo, no text, no memory will ever capture their essence completely. But you are the vessel now. You carry the laughs, the inside jokes, the way they hated pickles or danced terribly to Afrobeat. And as long as you breathe with intention, they still live. Every act of courage, that's them. Every decision to choose love over fear, that's them too. Every time you speak up, protect someone, chase a dream, you're not just honoring their memory, you're extending it. And maybe, just maybe, that's the only kind of immortality that matters. So when people ask you years from now, do you still miss them? You'll smile, look up with a glint in your eye and say, every single day, but I carry them with me, and that's enough.